All right, we're down here, and this is the pipe coming through. So if you look at that, that's lead. And I haven't figured out yet what is holding it up to the top, but maybe it will come out. So again, this is the YE we put in for that. And what we're probably going to do is go up and get in this bay. And that will keep it out of the window, because the window can open if they want to have some air. A couple more things. This is what, I guess one term they called it, a Yankee basement. So if you look at the basement, it is, I don't know, 12 by 12, 15 by 15, something like that. I'm just guessing. Meanwhile, the house is much larger. That retaining wall has soil behind it. So does that one. That goes towards the front of the house. There's a sewer. And basically, it's a bowl. And I did make a suggestion a number of years ago, I guess, to the owners to put a sub pump. They had that done. And since I've been here, and while I'm talking on this video, you can hear that pump cycling. So I've come to the conclusion that pump was installed in the water table. I have a number of reasons for that I could explain, and there it goes. So the neighbors next door told me that the sump pump runs constantly. So if you look at the time on this video when it last went off, and you could hear water coming back in. Now, it's not raining outside. So anyway, my conclusion is they installed the pump too low. Not really putting them at fault, but it's kind of hard, and I'll explain why. This is the water main from the street. All right? That penetration in the wall is roughly, it's almost 5 feet. It's like 4.5 feet. I think it's 5 here at the wall. And we put that in, had to be, well, let's see what year this was. This is June 2015. That's the Navion. We put that in as well. All this copper you see in here was all us. All this PVC was when we rebuilt the downstairs bathroom. You can see all that copper was done by us. Starting here, well, we ended about here. Then another company came in and ran this stack down from the second floor. And they put this in. This was the washer and dryer used to be down here for clothes washing. They put this one-way valve in and a standpipe for the washing machine. Now, the washing machine dryer has been relocated, so it's not being used anymore. And I would imagine the idea of this backflow valve was what I did with this backflow valve, that if the street backed up, it wouldn't come out of the standpipe and flood the basement, because at that time, there was no sub pump. So due to the fact that the owners are not here for a long period of time, if something were to break or happen here, literally this would fill up. It's literally a bowl. And the ground soil around under this slab floor, through that wall is soil. Through that wall is soil. Through that wall is soil. It's surrounded by dirt or soil that is literally like a sponge. And I'm getting back to my theory about the sub pump. Again, when we installed this, which was close to the time of the Navion, that's 5 feet deep. And here is the gas line somewhere. There it is. That's the gas line. Nope. Yeah, no, here it is. So that goes out to the gas meter. And I know that because we put this gas line in and galvanized for the Navion. So basically that meter's sitting on the dirt. So the dirt is about somewhere in here. No, let me get that right. It's almost at the top block. Because if we look outside, that piece of concrete out there on the outside is the grade. So you figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 times are 8-inch blocks. 7 and 8 is 56 inches right there, which would be your 5 feet. Now, when this sewer was put in, we had to run it in between the water main and the gas main. I don't have videos of that because that day was pretty busy. There were machines running around. So we installed this line all the way to the lateral. We're about 25 feet out into the middle of the street. The town has 10-inch clay as a main sewer. So we had to make a new lateral, abandon the old sewer that was compromised, damaged. I talked about that in another video. Anyway, I'm continuing my theory about the sump pump, talking too much. When we dug this out in the street, and we were at the main sewer in the middle of the street, we hit water at 5 feet. And there was no leak. There were no leaks, so that tells me that's where the table is. Now, considering we are, I don't know, in a straight line, I would imagine 3 or 4 blocks from the ocean. So that kind of makes sense that we hit water at 5 feet. So if this is, water main is 5 feet, and I back up and you look at the main in relation to the sub pump, you'll see 2 more cinder blocks. So if that's 5 feet, 2 more blocks is what, 16 inches? So now you're at 6 feet. And this can is usually about 30 inches tall. So if you 30 inches and it looks like it's sticking up, I would say is roughly 2 feet into the slab. So that'd be 6, 7, 8. And I think my theory may prove right. That's why this thing is cycling. Because if we dug up in the street, we hit 5 feet. That tells me that's close to the table, or is the table. So we were standing in water when we cut the new lateral under the 10-inch clay pipe in the middle of the street. And this thing has went off about, 4 or 5 times since I started this video. But I'm going to shut this video down because it's too long. So I believe they put this in the table, in the water table. That's why it's cycling. So we're going to try to fix that. I would have submerged it all the way down and put cinder blocks inside the can. Because the way it is now, I'm confused how, let's say the basement was to flood, I don't see any holes in the can. So how's the water supposed to get in there? I would imagine it's the holes in the sides of the can, and then they really didn't seal it up, so it would make its way. But again, that's the advantage of having a storage space that they don't really, utilize that. It's not a living space. It's for mechanicals. So that's okay inside of what it is. So there you go. There's my theory as to why the sump pump is cycling. So we're going to try to resolve that too. Right now, we're going to get back to the kitchen drain. See ya.